Okay, so in today's video we're going to be showing the RSLogix, or the Rockwell Automation Process Library 3.5. We're going to be showing how to basically use the library to easily program and easily kind of import, export, and have something easily working within a couple minutes on your HMI. In this instance we'll be using the P3 motor. And so as that goes, we'll go ahead and get started. Just keep in mind that we are using the Emulator software, so we're using the RSLogix Emulate 5000 chassis. So every bit of this is emulated, and there's no process, or actually there's no hardware at all. So if we wanted to go ahead and first and foremost, what we need to do is understand which one we want to, I guess block we want to use. So in our instance we want to use the motor block, and we'll just simply go in and find that in the program. In our instance it was the P3. So the P3, if we open up the P3 devices, it's going to show everything. We just want the motor, but we're going to go ahead and export all of this and bring it back in the system. So first and foremost, what you want to do is you want to export. And when we export, all we're doing is basically taking the system out. So you just export it to my desktop, straight on my desktop. To you can basically get the pre-programmed situation and completely on the desktop. So I would show that, but I have the current client running on my desktop, and I'd have to drop that. For the sake of time, I want to keep this as short as possible. So now we want to go ahead and import that back in. And you might ask yourself, why would you import it back in? Well, we're going to change the name of everything, and that way we have it predefined, pre-programmed. So again, we're P3 devices. We're going to import. We're going to let it do its import completely, and then we're going to come in after the fact and change the name. So we'll change the name to basically get to we're going to add P2. So instead of having another P3 or something of that nature, we're just going to add P2. We're going to change everything to P2. And this is just to give an illustration again of how easy it is to modularly program with the process objects, or process library 3.5. So okay, so in this instance you'll have as soon as your import is done, your screen will pop up. You can simply change the name, and this is the final name of the function block that we're doing. So in that routine, I should say. And then we want to come into tags. In tags, you want to change. You want to do a find and replace, and everything that says P3, we want to change to a P2. So we'll just come in and replace. And in different versions you have a replace all, and sometimes you don't. I prefer to do it myself, so I can go down and visually look at everything and make sure it's good. Motor already exists in the project, has a different data type, and it will be overwritten. Okay, so it gives you a flag for everything that has any kind of problem. So what we may do is we may change this to, tell you what, let's do it a P4. Yeah, let's do P4, which is no big deal, right? We haven't done anything. So we'll just come in and do a tag replace for that again, and we'll come in and replace that. So in this instance, we just changed everything from a P2 to a P4. So that shouldn't coincide. If you look over here, we have no errors. I'm sorry. If you look on this side of the screen, we have no errors on the side of the screen. We would go ahead and your data types and all that stuff you don't want to play with. You just want to change the name. And then that's your routine name, right? And change your tags so that your tags do not overwrite anything that's currently there. And granted, I am still online, so this should not affect the process at all. You have three options here. You can import logic and edits as pending. You can accept everything. You can finalize edits in the program. So what we want to do is you can finalize if you want. Preferably, what I like to do is I like to import. I like to make sure I go in and use the part that it's not going to go ahead and make everything 100% live. So if I come in here, I still have to assemble every bit of this. And for the instance that I'm doing the pump. So I want to make sure the pump is completely healthy, so there's no problems. And at this point, you can assemble and do everything you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and finalize edits, and everything is finalized. Now, I will note that the tags are there, but this will not work right now because we still have to come into the main routine and throw in a JSR. So in the JSR, we'll just put a jump to subroutine to the new newly put devices that we just put in. So P4 devices. And now everything in the P4 section will work. So now how do we tie this with our HMI? This is where it gets very easy and open. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, right now on our screen we have all of our P3 devices. Well, what I'd like to illustrate is I'm going to take this stuff. I'm going to take, well, I could actually take the whole scenario, the whole screen, and make another screen. But what I want to do is just show you that the pump is working, right? The pump is able to run. So I'll come in here and I'll copy this and I'll paste it. Now when I do that, I'm going to come in here and go to Global Object Parameters, and I'm going to change the tag to 4. And basically this is just as simple as that. Now I can save, come back to my client. You see I'm on the screen right now. All I need to do is refresh. And I hit it 3 times, so that's why I did that. So now I have my program. I have my P4. Still says P3, right? But that's just because let's see right here. That's just because the naming in here didn't change. So the values that were in the tag, like, all I have to do now is just change each one of these. Because the values that were in the tags that we brought into the import were all were basically all populated. So they already had the data from P3. So if you look, I have a P3, I have a P4, right? P4 motor, and I have a P3 motor. Now, if you want, to answer the question, will it actually, are they different? I can simply start P4 motor, and the P3 motor does not start. I can come back and start the dosing. And as it starts dosing, it controls it will start controlling the P3 motor, because the P3 motor is actually the motor that's in the simulation loop. So I just wanted to highlight how easily you can, get the devices, export the routine, import it, change the name, get it fully functional where you can operate it, and then come back and later and program it how you want to. So I could do many. I could put in P4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, you've seen within a couple minutes that the system is actually tied together, working. Now all I have to do is basically tie in what controls that motor. If I wanted the same instance of the dosing scenario that controls the P3 motor, then I could do so. But in this instance, I just wanted to show that how easy it is to control it and make it work. Get it to a non-working system that did not have a P4 motor, to a system that had a P4 motor that is fully functional, and that was basically within a couple minutes. So again, and just keep in mind when you do this that the only things that you may need to come back and change are some of the populated data. Say for instance you wanted your min and max speed completely different. You could change that as well. You definitely need to change the names, the tags. You need to change, you can look at diagnostics and stuff. That should be all good. I believe the highlighted notes are going to be on the process objects that we just did, or the process library object that we just did is going to be either right here in the limiting speeds, the obviously the name, the speed, the max speed, mid speed, units, hertz, that type of stuff. So again, just wanted to show how easily this could be done, and we have a workable system up within a couple minutes. And again, we were able to keep the video under 15 minutes, so great. I was definitely, I definitely want to give a good understanding of how easily and how modulus this programming can be, because now we have a P3 motor and we have a P4 motor. Not only that, actually we have a lot more devices, but I'm not going to use those right now. I just wanted to highlight, I didn't want to draw this video out. I wanted to kind of highlight how easily you can import, export, change the name, and get it working. Simply by throwing a JSR, changing a couple things on the HMI. On the front end of the HMI, I would say, not digging into the PLC code, but just on the front end of the HMI, changing the name, as far as the representation of what pulls up, and then you're off and running. So again, I hope you found this helpful. This was again the process library 3.5, and this is an easy way to go about modulus programming. You can go about we can do this several different ways on a couple different applications. This is a very powerful application, I will say. If you wanted to just play around with it after you got it running, I do have all this stuff, how to basically emulate this whole process if you need to, on a different video, and I'll put that in the show notes below. So again, if you have any questions, have any concerns, or you would like to see more, or maybe you would like to see this whole area redone, and how quick and easy that can be, just leave me a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll be happy to help. That is the reason I started all these YouTube videos, and honestly, it's about building capability and building, using the technology that we have for the best of its ability. So if you have any topics or helpful hints, or maybe something you want to talk about, or maybe something that you would like to see, because we all are on different levels, and we all want to obviously increase every day. So this is the reason why I'm starting the online PLC help, or onlineplcsupport.com. And granted, the website is just getting started, so bear with me on that, but we will be getting it cranked up this year. So later 2017, 18, hopefully we'll have a lot better stuff for you. But in the meantime, I'm doing these YouTube videos to help out. So if you would, just please share, let everybody know, and you know, like I said, if you have any comments, please drop them below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Again, thank you for your time, and talk to you later.